Hey everybody, Matt Ward here, the VP of Global Sales at Avoria Prime, and I am super excited to be interviewing Mr. Steve Didier. He is the founder and creator of MaxMyCredit here at Avoria Prime. If you guys don't know, we just launched a premier credit repair, credit building, optimization product here called MaxMyCredit, and we're super excited about this product because we're all about helping people build their wealth, build their legacies. And one of the things is about protecting, right, your wealth and being able to optimize your wealth. And one of the ways is having really good credit. And so I want to introduce you all to Mr. Steve Didier. Steve, how are you doing today, brother?
Great, man. I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate everything, man. This is really exciting for me too, because that's been a big part of what I do, is just educating people and giving them this part of that wealth building and legacy building thing. So it fits right in with the much bigger Avoria Prime vision. Absolutely.
And that's what we're here. Avoria Prime, we have, created so many amazing tools to help people create their wealth. But, there's other aspects to it, right? If you don't have the right credit score, if you don't have, if you're not optimized in that direction, then it's really hard to be able to build wealth in other areas. So I'm super excited about the add-on of MaxMyCredit and really diving in. As people are watching right now, maybe they're like, well, what's really the benefit of having optimized credit? I have an okay score, but what's really the benefit of diving in and really getting my score up there compared to, average?
In this day and age, our credit is tied into everything. It really, there's just no getting away from it. From anything, obviously the obvious ones, buying a car, buying a house, things like that. The difference between just okay credit and really good credit can save you thousands of dollars in interest payments over the course of a 5-year loan on a car, and talking hundreds of thousands on a house. And then you've got most job applications are going to require a credit check these days, security clearances, promotions. And there's a lot of other hidden costs that a lot of people aren't aware of, like your health insurance is going to be more expensive with bad credit. Your car insurance, your home insurance, all these things have an increased cost when your credit isn't at a really high level. So, and then, you pay more for deposits on getting a cell phone or renting an apartment. The list goes on and on. There's just no getting away from it in this day and age.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that, there's people that probably, they pay so much money in interest and they don't even realize how much more they're paying. Even on a house, right? In 30 years, what is the difference between a 3% interest rate to a 6%? It's a big difference, that people are paying. And same thing with a car. Over the next 4, 5, 6 years, your car payment, whether it's a really good, sometimes you can get interest-free credit on a car compared to 4, 5, 6%. It's just like throwing money away. It's like burning money and just giving it away because your credit's not optimized. And so that's a really good point. I know a lot of people, Steve, they're out there. Maybe we're talking to someone right now that doesn't have good credit and they've been out searching for credit repair and they see different credit repair companies. What makes MaxMyCredit, Steve Didier, what makes you guys so different than, all these other companies that are out there on the internet? When you go Google credit repair, you probably see 1,000 companies pop up. What makes you guys so different?
Well, there's a lot of things that really set us apart. Unfortunately, the credit repair industry has got a really bad reputation, and well, deservedly so, because there are, to put it bluntly, there's a lot of scumbags and amateurs and straight out scam artists in this field. So that just setting yourself apart and doing what you say you're going to do is a big step up above the competition. But what we do is it's like credit repair on steroids. With most credit repair companies, you're looking at 9, 12, 18 months to really get a decent amount of the negative stuff off. With us, we've got that down to 2 to 4 months. Very, very fast, very predictable. And I think the biggest thing that sets us apart from everybody else is, we do have that money back guarantee on the credit repair portion of it. I'm the only credit repair company that I know of that offers that.
Absolutely.
So we put our money where our mouth is.
That's amazing. You can't get any better than money back guaranteed results to get your credit repair. So what are some of the things that you guys can do for people that have bad credit, maybe have creditors? What are some of the things that you can get taken off of credit reports? And then how do you, what do you guys, what's the process of really getting someone optimized?
Well, it's usually it's a two-part process. The first part is, like you mentioned, getting that negative stuff off. So, I don't care if it's car repos, home foreclosures, charge off credit cards, medical bills, whatever. We generally get those wiped off the credit report like they never existed. So that's a big piece of the puzzle. But the other piece of the puzzle is the education portion of it. And that's why we included the intensive coaching with these packages, because you can get all the negative stuff off in the world that you want. If you don't have the right kind of credit built to pull that score up, you're not going to get where you want to go. So that's the whole premise behind this is helping people get from wherever they're at to a very premium credit score, and doing it fast, not having to wait 2 years to do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And so, one of the things I want to talk about real quick, and I'm excited about this, I'm going to be getting this myself, Steve. We had a conversation tonight talking about business credit. And guys, this is, when you're talking about building your legacy and building wealth, people that are very wealthy, they do things differently. They don't do what everyone else does. And mostly they don't, they do it because they're educated on how to do that. They're educated on how to protect themselves against, things that might happen. And so, Steve, I'm super excited to dive into business credit, how this works, how it helps protect people, and really what you guys do. So if you could explain business credit, how that works, I'm really excited to dive into this.
Yeah, that's low key. This is probably one of the best products that we can offer, because like you said, wealthy people do stuff differently. And most people, even if they're savvy enough to have a small business and have a separate corporate entity like an LLC or an S Corp or C Corp, they don't know about business credit. I mean, you've been around the block, and even you didn't have a real good grasp. When I kind of laid it out for you, the reaction I got from you is the same reaction I get from everybody, because they just don't realize, well, they may have heard the term business credit, but they don't know what it is. And basically what it is you can build an entirely separate credit profile, completely isolated and separate from your personal credit profile, your personal social security number, and build it completely in the business name. And that is super powerful, because obviously, small business owners, we never start anything with the idea that we're going to fail.
Right.
Things happen. I went through the crash in 2008 at a real estate company. And, if I had known then what I know now, my personal credit would have been preserved instead of wiped out, because I would have had everything under the business credit.
Right.
And that's like when you're setting up separate legal entities, limited liability corporations, that's one part of it. But separating, so in case something happens to the business, it doesn't drag down your personal as well. That's key when it comes to protecting your wealth, your legacy, your things like that.
That's amazing. So what, if someone has, let's just say an LLC, and you help them through this process of building credit through their business, and like what he's saying, everyone, is he's saying, you have your own credit, but then you have an LLC, right? And a limited liability corporation, and he builds the credit of that corporation, which is completely separate from your credit. My whole life, Steve, I always thought, I knew about having business credit, but I always thought I had to guarantee it, myself. Right. I didn't realize that I could have something totally separate, an entity totally separate away from my credit, that, I could do certain things with. So if I have a Dun and Bradstreet number and a business credit, what are some of the things that I can put in my business name?
It really is endless possibilities. Once you get that business credit built, which to get to really where you need to be, it's going to be a 5 to 7 month process. So it doesn't happen overnight, but once you get it built, it's a tool that you have forever, essentially. But with the business credit, it opens up so many different types of loans, so many different avenues of getting money that you simply do not have with your personal credit. And typically, like for example, you get much larger loans, much larger lines of credit cards with much higher limits. On average, your starting credit card with strictly on a business is going to be 20 to 30 times the limit that you get with a personal credit card. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying it opens up a lot more money and a lot more access to capital. I mean that in a really, really big way, because there's so many types of financing that just are available for businesses that aren't available to the individual.
Right.
So obviously the golden goose is to have both of those.
Yeah.
But even with just the business credit, you're opening up yourself to so many more possibilities. You know, whether it's investment, you can lease or buy your vehicles purely with business credit.
Wow.
You can get, you know, a variety of different loans, a variety of different lines of credits, credit cards, retail cards. You know, some people, you know, especially guys in the trades or things like that, you get the Lowe's cards, the Home Depot cards, or you can get, if you have more of an office type business, you get the Staples, the Office Depots. You know, you get lines of credit through so many different places. It just opens up a whole new world for people with that business credit.
That's amazing. And, you know, so talking about protecting your wealth, you know, obviously you talked about the crash of '08. You know, the market, no matter what, the market always goes up and the market always comes down. There's always a correction sometime, and, you know, and things happen. And as entrepreneurs, there are things that happen. I've never met one entrepreneur in my life that said, man, I just started and it was just smooth sailing through the whole thing. You know, there was, we've gotten knocked out at least 10, 20 times, you know, in the process of trying to figure this thing out. And if it was easy, everybody would be an entrepreneur, right? It's not easy. And God forbid something really bad happened, like an '08 or whatever, and you couldn't afford the company car and the credit cards and things like that. You know, the powerful thing behind this is you're insulated, meaning your personal credit is not tied to your business credit. So what would happen, you know, in an instance, and how would that protect somebody if something catastrophic happens and, you know, they had to shut their business down? You with me, Steve?
That's the thing. You know, obviously you would still owe the money, but they attach it to your personal social. So they can't, you know, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not into legal stuff here, but, you know, it can't show up on your personal credit. And generally everything is attached, you know, to the business. So if the business goes down, they really have no recourse.
Right.
And, you know, there's a lot of other layers of protection in there as well. And we kind of went over this a little bit, but, you know, as a person, as an individual, if you go out and you spend a bunch on your credit card and reports that drags your score down in a big way.
Yeah. Yeah.
With business credit, they know small businesses are going to be constantly using the credit card. So you can have all your credit cards maxed out. It doesn't ding your score in the least. The same with inquiries. You know, as an individual, you go out and you're applying for credit all over, you're dinging your score every single time a lender pulls your credit. With business credit, they know you're going to be applying for credit. You could have 1,000 inquiries in a month. That doesn't affect you in a negative way.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really interesting.
And, you know, even like, you know, for the real estate investors and things like that, if you have your automobiles in the business name and they're not showing up in your personal credit, that helps your DTI, helps you afford more. And there's just a lot of different ways you can work it. It's such a powerful tool.
Yeah. I mean, in where I live, you know, Steve, in Florida, I mean, there's a lot of investment properties. You know, people, they buy the property. It's really a vacation rental. You know what I mean? And so, you know, if you had business credit, you could put your vacation rentals, you know, your vacation rental business, any of that kind of stuff, corporate cars, your corporate cards, all that stuff in your business. And it's totally not tied to your personal credit. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a really powerful tool. And like I said, when you have that combined with personal credit, you know, it just opens up.
Yeah.
So many doors.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying don't get your personal credit optimized. You need that. As a person living in this world today, you need to have your personal credit needs to be optimized. As you said, I mean, when you apply for things or whatever, I mean, you know, there's so many things out. They now look at your credit score to see if you're a responsible person or not. So, you know, you got to get their personal, but that business side as well. And having both of those optimized, there's really no stopping what you could do in the business world in a major way.
It opens up so many doors, and you don't have to have great personal credit or anything to build the business credit.
Right. That's huge. Either. Yeah, that's huge. That's what I always thought. I always thought you had to use your own credit for that. And now that you don't, and you can literally, you know, Steve walked with me the other night and we talked about, you know, his process and how he actually gets your business credit. And we're not going to talk about that here today. That's something you can find out but I was blown away, his process and what he does. It's genius, how he does this. And so I'm super excited about MaxMyCredit here at Avoya Prime. And Steve, it's super excited to have you on board. I know you're going to bring a lot of value to our community and really getting people's credit optimized. I think the business credit is going to be a huge, huge seller. It's everything any entrepreneur could ever want. And I'm super excited to have you here with the AP family.
Oh, I appreciate you having me, and I'm looking forward because I do think this is going to provide an enormous amount of value on a lot of different levels for people. So I'm super excited to be here.
Good. So, hey, if you're watching this, go get MaxMyCredit with Avoya Prime. Get your personal credit optimized. Go get that business credit, and really, that's how you build a legacy all the way around. Not just with our tools, but getting yourself and your business optimized so that you can have money.
Leveraging other people's money is how you build wealth.
Right. It's exactly right. Other people's money. That's exactly how you build wealth, and that's how the wealthy do it. So, Steve, thank you so much for coming on today. And I look forward to all the lives that you're going to change here at Avoya Prime.
Yeah, looking forward to it as well. Thank you.